Imagine waking up one morning feeling suspiciously competent. You step out of bed and realise you're moving with the grace of a man who's just discovered anti-wrinkle cream actually works. Except it's not you, it's Earth. Our planet's gravity has quietly slipped by 10%, as if it misplaced a receipt and can't be bothered to look for it. It sounds small, but the universe specialises in making small very dramatic indeed. You try to make coffee, you press the kettle, you overshoot the kettle. Everything feels slightly floaty, like reality is running on a softer setting. People across the world report steps turning into tiny hops, pets bouncing like furry trampolines, and the global average number of "what in the" exclamations rising by about 400%. Welcome to 0.9 grams, Earth's new operating system. Earth's gravity isn't a dial we get to turn. It's tied to Earth's mass, which is tied to everything from the molten core to the oceans to every biscuit tin in Britain. A 10% drop means one of two things happened. Earth abruptly lost a colossal chunk of mass, or space-time is having an unscheduled wobble. Either way, gravity is weaker, and weaker gravity means weaker weight, which is not the same as weaker mass. Your mass, the amount of you, stays the same. Your weight, how hard the planet tugs on you, that drops. This is why, despite weighing less, you're not suddenly capable of balancing your tax returns. The oceans are the first to really notice. Tides are governed by a delicate tug of war between Earth's gravity and the Moon's. If you reduce Earth's side by 10%, and the Moon's influence becomes relatively stronger. And the result? Tides grow. Not catastrophically, but noticeably. Shorelines swell, low-lying areas flood. Engineers use phrases like unexpected vertical enthusiasm. Shipping lanes get dicey, and more than one seaside town starts thinking about moving their benches a tad further inland. Oddly enough, much of our infrastructure benefits. Skyscrapers bear less weight. Bridges sag less under traffic. Foundations relax, a bit like a pensioner discovering a new recliner. But the problem isn't support, it's resonance. When weight drops, the way buildings wobble in wind changes. Some tall structures begin swaying ever so slightly offbeat, like they're dancing to music only they can hear. Most survive. A few need a stern conversation and retrofitting. Let's talk bodies. Muscles and bones evolve under gravity's constant training regime. If you lower that training by 10%, and your body starts quietly celebrating, you feel stronger, joints complain less. Everyone becomes about 10% better at basketball, which ruins the sport overnight. But in the long term, bones start to lose density, because they're simply not being asked to work as hard. Muscles shrink ever so slightly. Think of it like the world's mildest version of spaceflight deconditioning. Just enough to be interesting at medical conferences. With weaker gravity, Earth's atmosphere becomes a bit more adventurous. Not enough to drift into space. We're not talking goodbye oxygen, it was nice knowing you. But enough that the atmosphere expands upwards. High altitude weather patterns change. Planes need recalibrated flight models, and satellites experience slightly less drag. If you enjoy aviation, this is the part where your eyebrows rise. Now, imagine the world 1 year later, after humanity has finally accepted its new, slightly floatier life. People move differently, almost gracefully. Sports are redesigned. Ballet becomes absurdly impressive, and trampolines are outlawed by the Ministry of Mild Panic. Cities redesign public spaces to accommodate longer jumps and gentler falls. Emergency rooms celebrate a global decline in sprained ankles, but an increase in enthusiastic leap miscalculations. Children, of course, adapt instantly and begin exploring new forms of chaos. If you're wondering how I'm taking all this, don't worry. As a narrator, I don't have mass, so gravity and I maintain a polite but distant relationship, which, frankly, is how I prefer most of my relationships. Here's the larger, cosmic issue. Changing Earth's gravity changes Earth's orbit. A 10% reduction in mass slightly reduces the gravitational force Earth exerts on the Sun. But Earth is the one in orbit, so the Sun's pull on us stays the same. But our balance of forces shifts. Earth's orbit gradually expands, moving slightly further from the Sun. It's not enough to freeze us, but it's enough for mild global cooling, longer orbital periods, and subtle climate drift. It's the cosmic equivalent of nudging a thermostat down 1 degree and pretending it's fine. Fast forward 50 years. Humanity has embraced the new physics with obnoxious enthusiasm. Cities are built taller, lighter, and more elegant. Vertical farms stretch skyward like green cathedrals. High-speed sports flourish. Long jump records turn ridiculous. Spaceflight becomes cheaper. Launching rockets now requires less fuel, opening a golden age of exploration. Children born into 0.9 grams think old videos of Earth before the drop look oddly heavy, as if everyone was wearing lead boots. Human culture shifts. We become a little more airborne, a little more daring. Humanity, lighter in gravity, slightly lighter in spirit. Here's a reminder. Gravity shapes everything. Planets, weather systems, ecosystems, skylines, even your shoes. All of it is engineered by the steady hand of 1 gram. Change gravity by 10% and you tug the entire tapestry of reality. It's not enough to tear it, but it's enough for the threads to loosen and rearrange. This is the beauty of science. Even modest shifts reveal the deep, fragile structure of our world. And maybe, just maybe, people feel different too. A little springier, a touch more adventurous, more aware that even the forces we take for granted can wobble, and that life continues anyway. Sometimes being knocked slightly off balance makes you appreciate the ground beneath you, even if that ground is holding you a little less tightly than yesterday. So, what if Earth suddenly lost 10% of its gravity? We'd wobble, we'd adapt, we'd redesign half the planet, and eventually we'd celebrate that we live in a universe where even the smallest change can rewrite the story of being human. And really, isn't that rather wonderful? If this made you think, tap like. And remember, what happens if we never stop thinking? This is Thinkverse.